My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Slay the Spire. We're going to be doing the first of our custom challenge runs suggested by those of you in the audience. The first thing that I'm going to do is the one that the most people requested. However, there are some caveats that I have to go over at the very start because I tested it off screen just to make sure it was possible, and it technically isn't. So I will give you the closest to what is possible. The challenge is called Pure Chaos. It was suggested by Alex Snyder, Geek Rusty, Gabarl, John, Loda, and Tiago Alves. And it is turn on every single modifier. Now, here's the problem. Some of these are mutually exclusive. If I click this, it turns off the other one. If I click this, it turns off the other one. If I click this, it turns off this. See what I mean? So some of them are mutually exclusive. This is also going to be really chaotic and incredibly unbalanced. If you aren't interested in seeing that kind of a thing right now, there will be different challenges in the future. And also, I'm not just going to be doing challenges. I'm also going to be sprinkling in dailies, Ascension 20 runs, Ascension 15 runs, sealed decks, all of those kinds of things. We're going to kind of find a general rotation that feels nice, keeps a lot of different plates spinning, and still diversifies the roster of things that are available in this series so far. For the moment, though, Pure Chaos. I will try and turn everything on, and then I will tell you what's going to happen with the mutually exclusive ones. Alright, and continue going. All the negative ones can go on, though. That's beautiful. Those don't have any problem with one another. Okay, so the mutually exclusive ones. Draft or sealed deck. Draft a custom starting deck of cards, or sealed deck. Craft a deck from 30 random cards. Since we've done sealed deck recently, we'll take draft. Endless or the ending. Well, obviously the ending, right? The ending giving us the ability to actually fight the heart. Blight Chests has no effect as a result of that, by the way. Insanity or Shiny. Starting deck is replaced with one of every rare card, or starting deck is a random card of 50, random deck of 50 cards. It's more chaotic to have 50 random cards, so I suspect that Insanity is the better option here. Then, Diverse or red, green, and blue. Diverse effectively is red, green, and blue, so we'll just turn Diverse on. So it's going to be an Ascension 20 and it's going to be on the Ironclad. Just before we start, oh, also, Daily Mods has to be turned off. That's something I tested. If Daily Mods is on, it just overrides all of the rest of this and you only get 3 random Daily Mods. Okay, so we'll be drafting a custom starting deck of cards, I believe out of 15 selections. The ending enables the final act. Neat. Blight Chests, not going to be relevant. Hoarder, whenever you add a card to your deck, add 2 additional copies. Got to remember, draft is going to be affected by that. You can no longer remove cards from your deck at the Merchant. Start with a random deck of 50 cards, not going to be affected by Hoarder. Chimera, your starting deck is a fusion of 3 characters. So we'll also, on top of Insanity, get a starting deck that's a merger of 3 characters. So that merger of 3 characters is going to be Bash, Survivor, Zap, 3 strikes, and 3 defense. Praise Snecko replaces your starting relic with Snecko Eye, so it really doesn't matter what class we're playing here at all. The only thing that matters for is what relics will appear over the course of the run. Shiny, starting deck, is obviously we can't use that. Specialized, start with 5 copies of a single card. That will actually triplicate to 15. Vintage, normal enemies drop relics instead of cards. Start with Frozen Eye. At the start of your turn, add 10 random cards to the bottom of your draw pile. Extremely chaotic. Replaces your starting relic with the Unceasing Top. You still get that in addition to the Snecko Eye, by the way. The replaces work with one another. All-Star, start with 5 colorless cards. Again, affected by Hoarder. Diverse, cards are not restricted by your character. Colorless cards also, so that that's added on to Diverse so that everything can appear. Heirloom, start with a random rare relic. All enemies start with a slow debuff from time dilation. Flight, you may ignore paths when choosing the next room to travel to. My True Form, start with Demon Form, Wraith Form, and Echo Form in the deck. I don't think that actually gets triplicated though, weirdly. Deadly Events, question mark, can now contain elites, but they're also more likely to contain treasure rooms. Binary is basically overridden. We'll just ignore that for the moment. One Hit Wonder, start the game with 1 max HP. this is going to be a problem. Cursed Run. Whenever you defeat a boss, become cursed, your starting relic is replaced with the Cursed Key, Dark Sun Periapt, and Duvu Doll. So, we could kill the first boss, get Pain in our deck, draw it in the first stand of the next fight, and instantly die. So it's really, really important that we try and buff our max HP as well as we can. So Feed is an incredibly important card. Anything that gives temporary HP doesn't really exist, right? We're not playing in beta. Sorry, we're not playing in beta. We're not playing in modded. So temporary HP is not a thing that exists. But Buffer does. So that's another thing we might want. Buffer to try and help us with the Cursed Run. Cursed Run and One Hit Wonder are going to be a problem. Big Game Hunter. Elite enemies are now swarming the Spire and drop better rewards. They exclusively drop rares. Lethality. You start each combat with 3 strength. So do all of your enemies. That with One Hit Wonder is going to be interesting, I guess. Enemies drop 200% more gold. You can only smith rest sites. Night Terrors resting at rest sites heals 100% your max HP, but costs 5. Will never rest. We have no max HP. Whenever you enter a new room, lose 1 max HP and gain 5 plated armor at the start of the combat. Certain future as well. Maps contain only 1 path, so we don't really get too much choice here. And starter deck is why we don't really care about the binary option, right? Start with Busted Crown and binary, so enemies no longer drop cards. So enemies will never drop cards. They'll drop relics for me, though. Hopefully we get a lot of max HP relics in the early game. Otherwise, this is going to be entirely impossible. This is going to be something that I am probably going to have to restart a bunch of times. But I did figure it was the thing most asked for. Kinda gotta. So our deck right now, you can see exactly as I said. Oh, and Ascender's Bane as well, because I'm going in Ascension 20. So I will note, none of the people who told me to do this told me to do it as... Oh, sorry. One of the people who told me to do this told me to do it in Ascension 20. Be explicit about what you want done. It makes it difficult for me to decide on my own if I have to decide on my own, right? Okay, deck is pretty garbage. Pretty garbage. So we get Karen's Ashes. When he exhausts a card, deals 3 damage to all enemies, as well as... Ooh, well, Perfected Strike. How many strikes do we have in the deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got to remember, there are strikes of the non-Ironclad variety. 5. Oh no. 6. That's a lot of storms! Oh no! I'm still gonna go for the Perfected Strike, see if we can get him. Stack is gonna be hilariously good block for us. We need defense. This gives us a lot more control over what cards we play each turn, but we also have Snecko Eye, so we should consider that. Take Charge Battery for that reason. Pommel Strike is good for Strikes build. I want Shrug It Off for defense's sake, but Shockwave is pretty good with the Karen's Ashes and Snecko. These are all pretty poor. Take Metallicize. These are all pretty poor again. Take a Rebound. These are all pretty poor again. Evis. Sweeping Beam possibly for the draw. That's really poor. Outmaneuver, I guess. Twin Strike. Aggregate, yes. Perfected Strike. Sneaky Strike. All right. There we go. Every card we just added, we got 3 copies of, by the way. Got him. Bottle Tornado. Upon pickup, choose a power card. Start each combat that I open hand. That's ridiculously impactful. I suspect I might want to do that on Wraithform here. Yeah, it's the most important thing I can put in my opening hand. Try and save myself for a couple turns' time. Remove a card from the deck. Well, there's a couple that I want to remove. Because it's pretty bad. So 0 costs are pretty obviously removals for us. Those aggregates just let us mill through the entire rest of the deck. So X-Cost cards are actually things that we want to remove right now, right? Because if we don't remove X-Cost cards or Battle Trance, then the Unceasing Top stops. And it doesn't have to stop due to the fact that we have the aggregates giving us a ridiculous amount of energy. So it's actually, yeah, it's anything that would stop my turn. So Skewer is one of them. Skewer is one of them. Battle Trance is another. Skewer and Battle Trance. We'll get Skewer out of the deck first. Beautiful. Got to remember, these enemies do have the slow debuff on them, so we want to play as many things as possible. I've also got to remember that I do have the Unceasing Top, otherwise we're going to have a bad time. Thread Needle, started combat in 4 plated armor. Great pickup for us. I don't want to actually put any curses in my deck, but the problem is we can't remove cards from our deck at rest sites. Sorry, not at rest sites. We can't remove cards from our deck at bosses. Sorry, at shops. So we are reliant on getting Peace Pipe in order to remove the curses that are added to our deck from the Cursed Run that we have. That said, while Cursed Run is currently active, it's my understanding, we don't start with a Cursed Key. It's unfortunate. This actually does bring me to a point. If you are going to suggest a challenge, please attempt it in your own time. Just no, you don't have to run through the entire thing. You don't have to figure out if it's completely balanced or anything like that. Just figure out if it's possible, because I have to interpret around the edges when things aren't possible, and my interpretation might not necessarily fit your interpretation of what the rules should have been, and then people get mad at me. It happened last time, and it was a big reason why I didn't want to continue doing custom challenges. I'm gonna hold off on taking the curse here and try and get lucky with the Peace Pipe in order to continue the Unceasing Top. Yep. That'll have to do. And definitely will. Beautiful. Got him. Anchor started combat 10 block. Great. I guess I just recall here. Hello, Lagavulin. Echo form. And, of course. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have played Wraithform unless I was waking up the enemy that turn. Otherwise, there's no reason to do it. That's true. Well, I'm going to be waking up the enemy this turn, at least. Oh. Effective strike for the kill. Neat. Boom. Whenever you deal 4 or less unblocked attack damage, increase it to 5? Well, there's aggregate. So there's all of our energy that we'll ever need. Just gonna make sure I don't play anything that damages myself, and I'll be all good. Never mind. Not lethal. Runic Dodecahedron increase speeds will gain energy at the start of your turn? Sure. It's never possible of not being capable. Calipers at the start of your turn lose 15 block rather than all of it is actually incredible for us. We'll trade a different thing for the Sapphire Key later, because that's too effective to turn down. Alright. One incoming, and oh, what a good hand. Thank you, Snacker. Mercury Hourglass. At the start of your turn, deal 3 damage to all enemies, as well as a shop. Ooh, Mummified Hand whenever you play a power. Whenever you play a power card, a random card in your hand costs 0 for the rest of the turn. We're not going to want to hit orange pellets, because if we do hit orange pellets, we find ourselves in a position where we're no longer confused, and confusion is actually really good for us at this point. So we'll take Mummified Hand and Bronze Scales here. While, like, this is one of the few opportunities I have to pick up cards, picking up cards is so low in value for a deck that has 122. Your 123rd card, how often are you going to draw it, right? One down. 2 down. Didn't work. Still pretty good, though. It's fine, I guess. If you're into that kind of thing. Dead Brush, whenever you use also card, add a random card to your hand. Yeah, this couldn't get nuttier if we really tried right now. Skill Potion, we probably want to keep that for the possibility of defending ourselves. The Attack Potion's more important. Not the Attack Potion, sorry, the non-Attack Potion. Vulnerability is more important, there we go. Beautiful. Red Skull, if your HP is at or below 50%, you have 3 additional strength. How is that gonna work right now? I wonder. Is it gonna constantly trigger or never trigger? Because rounding works different. It constantly triggers. See Red Skull's on. I'm glad I asked that question. Wraith Form doesn't mean anything right now. In fact, it's actively poor. Yeah, I'm not going to Perfected Strike this turn. I don't want to split that badly. Especially when we have other good ways to split in the deck. Like this. This is a much better way to split in this deck. It'd look a lot like that. Got a bunch of gold. There's Pain. Told you. I have to take Lizard Tail just to try and defend against the possibility. Like, obviously Black Star is good. Like, really good right now. But I have to take Lizard Tail. Just to defend against the possibility of drawing Pain in an early hand and not being able to deal with it. Pain is real difficult to remove as well, so... Now, I can actually see my deck in order. Wait, what? Oh, no, I can't. So again, not all of these mods are working well together, right? Despite the fact that I was capable of turning on Controlled Chaos, I don't have Frozen Eye. That kind of thing. We die this turn. You think I took that relic, eh? Happy Flower every 3 turns, gain an energy. Gotta remove that Pain. 3 of them. 3 of them got added. That's awful. I can't take Cursed Wraith. My opening hand is complete trash with that. I'm glad at the very least that I predicted this was going to happen to me. I honestly take some measure of pride in that. It feels like good foresight right there. So if I don't need to draw, never draw. Lightning, bottled lightning. Double energy. No. It's obviously aggregate. What? I can't consider anything else there, obviously. Bullet time just allows us to play our entire hand. If only we had bullet time before the bottled lightning, though. So bullet time is great, and then probably all the relics. Encourage. Well, we don't actually need Whetstone, right? That's the least important thing here for us. That's fine, I wanted the relics more. Again, 3 bullet times in the deck of 125 cards. Regal Pillow, whenever you're resting on an additional 15 HP. Okay, so we still haven't had the ability to pick up the removal. Good apotheosis there. Don't need to hit Terror. Fine. Ooh, double aggregate. Ooh, that's exciting. Storm Echo Form. That'll kill without using my Pen Nib. Back in preparation at the start of combat, draw 2 additional cards. Very good pickup for us. Lantern, started combat with additional energy. Also pretty good for us. Alright, so we're probably going to try and get the Sapphire Key next floor. Well, I mean, probably. We have to do it if we're going to get it at all. Has to be next floor. So yes, I 100% recognize that this is not at all a balanced run. It wasn't really designed to be by any of the people that suggested it, I have to imagine. The idea seems wholly... what happens if... At least if we had Pain in a hand like this, we would just be able to not play a card. Oh, it's a Singing Bowl. When adding cards to your deck, you may raise your max HP by 2 instead. We don't add cards to our deck. Aggregate, double energy. Oh, there's another aggregate. Well, look, it's not going to matter, but it could have. Theoretically. Centennial Puzzle, the first time you lose HP each combat, draw 3 cards? Yeah, sure, we'll do that if we can. Don't think we can, though. Let's go Aggregate. I'm going to try and True Grit the Battle Trance so that I don't stop my own draw here. Lovely. Could not have worked out better. Preserved Insect. Enemy elite combats have 25% less HP. Toxic Egg. Don't want that. We'll take the Sapphire Key. Hey. Whew. I want to rebound that aggregate. Should basically just make the enemy melt. Okay, so the party only stops when we get Pain, right? So I can kind of just hit 1 and point at the enemy this entire time. Lock Potion as well as don't you dare tell me you added Pain again. No, Parasite. That's fine. Enemies don't really deal damage. Extra energy is kind of important to us. Is that true? Not really. So the problem with Astrolabe transforming the Pains is that when you transform the Pains and they get to a different card, that different card then gets added to your deck. I don't actually want that many curses in here if I can avoid it. I'm going to take this for some max HP just to protect us against Pain draws in the start of the next floor. Really need some max HP game. Oh, rebound aggregate. Draw. Aggregate. And now we're absolutely off to the races. Beautiful. Ooh, double tap on Abyss. How delightfully unnecessary. So Parasite stops our draw, but as long as we get enough defense first, we're fine. Wraithform in the opening hand, honestly, is such a savior right now. It is huge for us. Ore bank. Upon climbing a floor, gain 12 gold. No longer works when you spend any gold at a shop. We have a shop in a couple spaces time, so it's probably gonna end there. This exact scenario is why I took the tiny house. So if you were sitting there grumping about the fact that I took tiny house, look at the board state. If I didn't, I would have just lost. Fine, that doesn't kill the spiker, but longer this goes, the more likely I draw into a another pain. Stone Calendar, the end of turn 7, deal 52 damage to all enemies. If we ever leave to see that going on. Transient. If we ever leave to see that going on, we've lost. This is really bad. Flash is unplayable for a while here. Or at least I should probably always have the energy to play something else instead. Well. Oh, I played Combust. If I don't kill this enemy, I die. Okay. Focus. Seek. Seek finds aggregate. Aggregate gives us energy. Reprogram discards none of those. Just gonna calculate a gamble here. Okay. So we can beam again. Rebounds. Some iron waving back to the top of the deck. And iron waving again. Parasite stops my turn. Looking for buffer. Don't find buffer. Okay. It's a pain in hand we lose. That's pretty much exactly how I expected that one to go. The fact that we got pain, like obviously playing Combust was extremely dumb. Just extremely dumb. I wanted to just chain off for the rest of the deck. Didn't even think about the fact that Combust was going to be losing me HP there. But the pains themselves and the inability to remove them, and the fact that we get the possibility of pains after every boss, really rough. We're going to try that again. Why? Because we're just under 30 minutes, and I still think I can actually win it. We have to get not severely unlucky, but I think we can do it. I'm skipping the ones that I know are mutually exclusive. I explained this in the start of the game. I'm not skipping. It's literally not possible to have them all active at the same time. Okay. Steel deck endless. Yeah, sweet. Let's go again. No. Again, this is what I was talking about, right? If you have the daily mods on, if you have the daily mod 1 at the very top on, it just overrides everything else. That was an example of that. That was, of course, not me forgetting and accidentally turning that on. That was just an example that I was trying to do. Example, of course. I hope you'll agree, this is the best that I can preserve the spirit of the idea of this suggestion. I mean, we should be going for... two perfected strikes. That's a lot of cloak and daggers. We should be going for a perfected strike build, honestly, if we can get it. These are all bad. It's fine. Self-repair is entirely useless. Body slam could be good, though. Sneaky strike. These are all bad. Because of the randomized cost, they're bad. These are all for defense, I guess. Don't need another cloak and dagger. Got a lot of those. Again, zero cost cards aren't good for us. Scrape has a possibility of drawing cards, I guess. Yikes. Yikes. Alright. Let's see what we can get done here. First fight easy. Omamori negates the next Kokosu you obtain. Alright, I'll just lose my money there, yeah. Okay. Omamori is obviously a really good pickup there for us. Gonna help us prevent some of that stuff that was really being taken care of us. Breathing. Bring back the zero cost of this. And Regal Pillow, whenever you rest. Heal addition 15 HP. Not really too much I can do here. Any of these important or impactful? No, 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 no. Okay, no. No across the board. Recall in the space, because basically all we can do. Go for the elite. Sup, Gremlin Knob. Send his Bane in the opening hand. Wild. Without the aggregate stuff that was going on in the last run, we would have died much earlier than we did. I suspect that without getting aggregate in our opening hand here, we're also going to end up dying much earlier than we'd like. So despite the fact that Dreamcatcher tried to give me a card reward there, the starter deck modifier overrode it. Whenever you enter a rest site, start the next combat with 2 extra energy. That's pretty good. Sets us up pretty well for boss fights. By Luther, and hello to Pandcraft at the start of boss combats. Heal for 25 HP. Well, if I could, I would, but I can't, so I won't. Decay. It's gonna hopefully get negated by Omamori just once, rather than triggering Omamori 3 times. Let's make sure that no other decay is added into the deck. Sweet. Pretty good opener there. Murder you. And start on my next target if I can. Ooh, beautiful. Toxic Egg. Whenever you have a skill to your deck, upgrade it. Yeah, that could actually be relevant. Possibly. Especially if the skill upgrades to be on our opening hand. So is an innate skill. Skills become innate. Boot sequence, but that's 0 cost. So I don't want it in my opening hand. I think that's actually about it. It's fine. Should be able to kill this turn. Oh, look, Break Form. Not that that's necessary with the Carnage in hand, but still. Singing Bowl. When any cards to your deck, may always make Siege B by 2 instead. Unfortunately, we don't get to trigger that literally at all because the starter deck modifier is on. But yeah, it would be nice if custom run suggestions came allied with knowledge of whether those work. I say because I also saw a lot of comments that were like, oh, you should do this thing and this thing and this thing. And I knew for a fact that those things do not work together. Like, you should do a starter deck run, no card rewards, and get Singing Bowl and do one-hit wonders. So you just build up your HP over time. You don't get card rewards. Doesn't work. You can't get the max HP from Singing Bowl if there's no card reward. So that's why I'm specifically saying, give it a little bit of a test first, just please. For my sake. For old Rhapsody, please. Nope. I'd also ask that, if possible, unless you have a really good idea, try to stick away from the things that require console to work, because then I have to turn the mods on. And this isn't the modded series, this is the base series. I can in a pinch, but I'm definitely not using any modded relics. I'm definitely not using any modded cards. That's where this just becomes the modded series. So I can use the console to add cards, add relics, those kinds of things. I'd prefer not to. I'll say that... How should I phrase? Those challenges will have an uphill battle to be included. And also, for what it's worth, you don't just have to work with... I did not make this clear, by the way, when I was trying to lay down the rules for how this should all work. I goofed it, and I didn't make clear one of the most important things, which is, you can also give me behavioral modifiers. You don't just have to go with the custom modifiers that exist in the base game. You can give me behavioral modifiers. A lot of you did, but a lot of you seem to have explicitly avoided doing so. So behavioral modifiers would be things like, always take the card on the left. That's one that was an actual suggestion, and also something that I've done before and I'll probably do again. Or you can never skip a card. Those kinds of things are pretty low tier challenges, but in contrast to this kind of thing, it's nice to keep it a little bit fresh. This is a garbage hand for garbage people. Oh. Really? All right. Obviously, he was trying to go for the strike there. Corruption. Corruption's obviously incredible for us with this. For reasons adjacent to that. For the same reason we did last time, we're taking Lizard Tail. To be entirely fair, yes, I played Combust in that run and killed myself, but Lizard Tail and Tiny House were also explicit picks that saved my life in the moment. So, I don't know, I don't think I did that badly in that run. Sure, I did a dumb thing, but that doesn't invalidate some of the other clever things I did that run. I'm gonna just die. Yep. Alright, lose our first life. Ow. If you're going to give me the one-hit wonder modifier, I would heavily suggest make the rest of the run really powerful, because otherwise... Otherwise, we can just get to a boss and go, oh, cool, I can never beat this boss. Bye. Hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. Ooh, vulnerability applied to all enemies at the start of each combat. Neat. Gain 5 max HP for literally no loss. Love it. Matroshka, the next new non-boss chest contained 2 relics. That's good. Dash is also really good in this deck. Pocket Watch is garbage. We'll never be playing that few cards. So it's this. Goodbye. And hello to the Happy Flower. Every 3 turns, gain an energy. Can't take that. Excellent. Well, if this just ain't the easiest plan. Sweet. Thankfully, we haven't got pains in this deck. Just got to remember not to play any card that will kill me. It's hard to remember, apparently. Tiny chest upon pickup, gain 30 gold. 10% more likely to find treasure in question mark rooms. More bank. Whenever you climb the floor, gain 12 gold. No longer works when you spend any gold at a shop. We'll take the Sapphire Key there because that is a really unimpactful relic in a deck that has 126 cards. Would have upgraded 2 cards in our entire deck. Good piercing whales there. I'm specifically spreading the damage here. Just so that if one of them's attacking next turn and the other one isn't, I know which I can target. My Centaurian. The Centennial Puzzle. The first thing you lose HP each combat, draw 3 cards. Big old aggregate right there. Thank you, Scrape, for drawing an aggregate for me. Lovely. Bottle Flame, upon pick up, choose an attack, started combat that only opening hands. Almost certainly going to be a perfected strike, right? Hang on. Sort by type. Yeah, it has to be perfected strike. Whirlwind's also really good. But I'm not defended on turn 1. Whirlwind is really good, though. Alright, I'll hit it on Whirlwind. The major problem with the Whirlwind hit there is just it's worse against single target. $13 by 6. 13 by 6 is, well, 3 with 18s. 78. That's lethal. Bottle Tornado, upon pick up, choose a... neat. Choose a power card, start each combat that item in your hand. Well, we know that Wraith Form has to be in the deck, so we'll take it. Corruption is also actually really good. Ooh. Taking Corruption. See how effective Corruption has been here? Gonna calculate a gamble past those. I don't want either. Whoop! Another skill. Damn. Alright, because stabbing. Goodbye and hello to the boot. Whenever you deal with 4 or less unblocked attack damage, increase it to 5. See, this is where Whirlwind is just like, oh. Good card. Alright, Chosen. You've been chosen to die. On scales, at the start of combat, gain 3 thorns. It's really important I take that Gambler's Brew. That is another way to invalidate pains that I might get after this boss. Is Moorbank still working? I thought I turned that off. Whirlwinds in our opening hand actually has an obvious problem. Stops me from being able to do other stuff. Okay, hang on. Wraith form, and then I'm going to hologram back Whirlwinds. Pile driver, Carnage, Whirlwinds. Never play Berserk in here, so not a real concern for me. Okay. Defend. Well, we do have medkit, so we can get past any wounds that we draw. Like that. I have to play them to get out of my hand. That's awful. I can't play that, though. Well, we win or die this turn. Hologram back Perfected Strike. It's the most damage that we can do in a single card. This enemy can't be slowed, so because they started with buff on them. It's more important that I keep the other potion. You have to be kidding me. You actually have to be kidding me. Where are you? What? It was just decay? I could have sworn I'd seen pain there. Alright, it was just decay. Beautiful. Inability to rest will do nothing at campsites. Still probably best. This is not restricted, but no, card choices have nothing. I will pick Orrery. It will give me exactly no card choices. That's a trick. Don't do it. Because my card selections have 2 fewer selections and 1 fewer selections. It will have no card selections in it. It's not like vintage is the thing that's the problem in the way right now. Lanterns, start each combat with additional energy. At least we've got a shop coming up. Good fight. Preserved Insect. Enemies in elite combats have 25% less HP. Eh. No, way too much to spend on a red mask, thank you. Barricade is really good. I'm happy to add 3 copies to my deck. Sure. Max HP, saves me. Prayer Wheel, normal enemies drop an additional card reward. They can't do that. At all. Not gonna happen. That said, what else am I gonna spend my money on? Do I have a later shop? Not guaranteed. Alright, I'll take it. We'll see if it does anything. It's not going to. But we'll see. But it won't. Like, obviously, this entire challenge could be, like, 100% invalidated. If we manage to get to a store and find a... What are they called? It's a good card. Mind Blast. Right. Ooh, good draws right there. I didn't even think about that. Corruption makes every skill 0 cost, so that means that Scrape will draw them. Ooh, interesting. Whereas an egg, whenever you add a power card to your deck, upgrade it. Hopefully we kill on turn 1 here with the Nemesis, because otherwise we're gonna be in this fight for too long. It's not actually funny, it's really bad. Alright, I need 8 hits this turn. Enemy's intangible, but yeah, that's exactly the kind of thing I can't deal with. 8 hits this turn, 8 hits this turn. Well, obviously it's just hologram back the Whirlwind. Oh, and never mind, the boot. It wouldn't have been 8. Have to just skip there. Now, can this build kill the heart? No. Any other questions? I'm not going to mince words on that one. It won't. It will not do that. Molten Egg. Red Skull and Mercurial Glass. Neat. Only one more space until the Red Skull's good. Or rather, even better. Okay. Aggregate, obviously. I mean, armaments on the aggregate would have been... I should have armaments the aggregate, I think, there. That'll do, though. Mean of the Throne, if your HP is at or below 50%. I mean, it is. Heal 12 HP at the end of your combat. I can't do that one, though. Alright. All these smooth stones started combat with 1 dex. Upgrade all cards you no longer heal. Oh, we can't heal except. This is important. If I get a relic that increases my max HP, that counts as healing. So if I take this and then get, say, Mango plus 14 max HP, then I will have 1 out of 15 max HP. That said, I still think upgrading every card, especially Wraithform, which is already in our opening hand, is going to be very important. Wraithform isn't in our opening hand, right? We went with the other option. That's fine, I still stand by it. Like, it's wrong now, but I still stand by it. Just have to kill that minion before I whirlwinds. Let her open every time you pay 3 skills in a single turn. Deal 5 damage to all enemies, as well as an ancient potion I'll take with me here. Nothing capable. Hello, time eater. We're almost certainly dead here on turn 1. How do I save myself? I need to mulligan all of these. Barricade is useful, but all of the rest of these have to go. And I need aggregate or something. That's not good. Hologram can bring us back. Nothing much. Hologram can bring us back Scrape, I guess. So I'm fully defended now. But not in a really good way. I survived this debuff. Okay. Dagger Throw gets me past Decay. Much appreciated. Very important I play 2 more cards here if I can. 1. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, lethal. That's really poor. Let's exhaust the most expensive thing in our hands. We're still going to try and get the actual lethal on the time eater this turn. Worst case scenario, we just end up with a bunch of block. Couldn't have played Bloodletting, I would have died. I have to hologram back the ability to get that Ascender's Bane out of my hand. Which is a... Where are you? I mean, I could take the prepare. That actually gets us more draw. But dagger throw. Okay. Good block. Incoming damage is 3451. Okay. Wraithform. Whew! Thank you. Suddenly I'm not so fearful. Oh, body snipe for the kill. Alright, so we managed to beat the base. Really? Now? Look, we beat... No, it's the second... We need to focus. We need to focus. We need to focus. We need to focus. If I ever draw the pain, I lose. I can't play Whirlwind first, though, because if I do, then I might not be able to defend enough this turn, so I have to backflip. Okay, now I have to dagger throw. We lose. What can I have done? You know what? I really... Count it as a loss if you want. I need to know if there was any way for me to win this. I have to know. So rebounding the backflip to the top of the deck is a good sense thing to do. And then dagger throwing away the bloodletting so that I can actually mill out the rest of my hand. The problem is the whirlwind is also a dead drop. So it goes... Well, corruption can't be played until the backflip. Okay, so it's rebound, backflip, corruption, dagger throw the bloodletting out, backflip again. Rebounding the backflip there would not have worked. Okay, we're not defended this turn yet. We have to scrape looking for card draw. Okay. So as it turns out, we can get past that point. %. Consider it a loss. Go for it. I don't care. I'm going to try the rest of this. If you consider this a loss, then my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game is blah, 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 blah. But if you want to stick around to see what happens, because there will be people who will want to see that. And I would rather cater to both if at all possible. And that should be possible here. I mean, I could easily just dead drop in. Yep. Never mind, that'll save us. Come on. Yes. Mm-hmm. Go with those as well. Burn the Ascender's Bane so that I still have the ability to draw through. And then I can hologram back basically like any damage and I'll win. Alright. That's the A20 win. So I lost A20 because I'm bad, but it was possible to actually win. We got copies of Doubt after that. Go to the heart. 33.58. Oh, good score. Legitimate score right there. That's not good. None of this is good either. Let's take those two. Don't want to debuff the confusion. Confusion's actually really good for us right now. Drop this for another power potion. Take a scrape for the possible draw. And Sundial, despite the fact Sundial will definitely never trigger. Alright. At least these enemies don't have full HP. I turn around and just kill this target. Should be aces, right? Beautiful. Paper Frog, enemies with vulnerable take 25% more, sorry, 75% more damage around the 50. So have to play it defend first. The enemy, right, they have Beat of Death as 2 by base here, so should keep that in mind. I was looking for barricade there desperately. We got debuff, but we didn't get debuff with vulnerability because of the first thing that we had. Unfortunately, the enemy is stronger, and yeah, this is where we lose. Dagger throw past the most expensive card in our hands. Yeah, if I play out all of the rest of these, I actually just die. In fact, I can't even play out all of the rest of these. So yeah, we were never getting the heart. Oh well. At the very least, we did manage to do it on Ascension 20, if you consider restarting to be a win. I will say we lost it. And then saw how it would have played out. For the moment, my name's been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. The challenge has been pure chaos. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. Please leave any and all challenge runs that you would like to in the description down below. And hopefully we'll see you next time.